So today we're making ribs. First you want to get your ribs, just lay them out, and you're going to want to start peeling off this little piece of skin that's right on the back, just like that. Pretty soon you'll have it off, and after you do that, we're off to our rub. So first, we're going to want to start with 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Next, we're going to put 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of finely ground coffee, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, which I needed to crumble up a little bit because it wasn't really whole, it was in some chunks. Next, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. Lastly, you're going to put 1 tablespoon of Slap Your Mama seasoning. It just gives it a little bit of a kick. Now, we're going to stir it up like that until we get a little bit of a mix. Next, we go back to our ribs, and we're going to take that rub that we get and just start rubbing it on one side. And we're just going to rub it in, get on all the creases and everything. Then we're going to just flip it over and just get that other side. Make sure you use all the rub. Just get it all in. Just going to speed it up a little bit here. Make sure you get all the sides too. You can pat them down like I just did. Now, you're going to take your ribs, but first you're going to grab a piece of tin foil, hopefully bigger than the ribs. And we're going to pick up the ribs and put them meat side down. It'll help cook and keep the juices all together. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to make a little bowl with our tin foil so no excess moisture gets out. We want it to be sealed so it all stays in for flavor. And you're going to add 1 more piece on the top, but before you close it all together, we're going to add just a splash, a little bit, not too much, of apple cider vinegar. You can choose of which vinegar to use, but I chose apple cider. Then you're just going to cover it up and get ready to send it into the oven. And if you haven't already, I'd preheat your oven to 300. Now, we're going to take our ribs and put them in the oven. Make sure your oven's at 300 degrees preheated, and we're going to go and let them sit in the oven for about 3 hours, or until very tender and bone pulled out of the ribs very easily. And while that's cooking, we're going to add to our barbecue sauce. So it's going to start with 1 cup of ketchup. Make sure you scrape it all out. And next, we're going to do 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Next, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Next, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and then another tablespoon of paprika, and then also a tablespoon of Slap Your Mama seasoning. Next, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. After that, we're going to put 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. Into another 1/2 cup of water. Now you're just going to stir that, mix it all up, and let it simmer on medium heat for about 30 minutes until it's just steaming, and you'll finish cooking it. Take it off the burner. Just make sure you keep stirring it constantly. And after that, after your 3 hours, your ribs should be done. You're going to take them out of the oven, and they should be super tender. But first, we're going to put them in the fridge just for about an hour, just so they don't fall apart on the grill. Now, while we're on the grill, we're just going to keep brushing our ribs with our barbecue sauce, which we made earlier. And we're going to get it on both sides, and this is just to heat it up and get that char on the outside because they're already super tender on the inside. So you're going to get both sides. You flip it around a few times, however much you want. You can choose. You can have the barbecue sauce on the side if you want. You can just heat them up on the grill, and you don't even need to heat them up on the grill, but the grill's a little extra thing that I like to do. If you don't have a grill, you can always just put them in the broiler without the tin foil. But, right, you always want to get those sides. You want to get every piece of it just so you can build that like thick lacquer. And when we're done, we're going to take it off. And we got to be careful because it's very tender and they will fall apart. If you can see, there's little pieces still on the grill. But that's it. Just want to thank you guys for watching. And look at that bone. Just pulls right out of it. That's how tender these are. Thanks for watching, guys.